Hi, it's Charlie from the future. I just wanted to say that my voice is fairly monotone in this video. It's not me trying to sound condescending or bored. I'm just very, very tired. I'll let you get into the apology/clarification video where, yes, I will be apologizing for things, but also clarifying what I'm not apologizing for because they didn't happen. So, grand. So I feel compelled to make this because I feel like I've got wrapped up in a lot of drama and I have dragged on some things when I have criticized other people for doing it. And I don't want to just kind of ignore it. I want to talk about it. This isn't going to be scripted and I don't think I'm going to edit it much. So I apologize if there's a lot of umming and ahhing. So here's a little bit of background on essentially why I feel like I've engaged in too much drama. Hopeless Peaches, in her original video regarding Creepshow art, stated that one of the many side effects of taking antidepressants is suicidality and suicide ideation. I have a video on this, which I'll link in the description, and I still stand by that video because you can't state it's one of the many side effects when in actuality it's a rare side effect. And I have tweeted her a few times on her account she had before she deactivated it, and once or twice on her new account, because I think it's wrong that she's continuing to double down on this. She stated that it is one of the many side effects in her original video, and then on her new Twitter, she stated that it can be a common side effect. So it's not like I just decided to follow her on every single platform after she deactivates the original or deletes the video. It's something that she's continuously stating. But I do have an apology to make. It does appear that I was beating a dead horse. And if Peaches wants to continue saying that, then I guess that's on her. And I do apologise for the way that I came at you, Peaches. It was rather aggressive and it really wasn't warranted. What I will not apologise for is one of the two things that either you or your friends and followers have accused me of doing. I've either been accused of saying you aren't allowed to talk about the negative side effects that you experienced, or I've been accused of saying you didn't experience those side effects. I've never once said that you couldn't talk about the negative side effects you experienced, and in my original video, I said I believe that you have experienced these side effects, so I'm not sure where that's coming from. I also don't believe that I was necessarily harassing you, as you stated in your tweet. As I previously stated, I haven't just followed you platform to platform, bringing this up out of thin air or pulling it out of my arse. You mentioned it on your original video, which I made a video responding to. You mentioned it on your deleted Twitter, which I again responded to. And yes, I essentially demanded that you remove that section of the video because number one, it was irrelevant to anything to do with Creepshow art. And number two, I'd already received dozens of comments on my own response video thanking me for making the video because statements like this have stigmatized them against seeking help medication-wise. I brought it up again on your new Twitter when you said, yes, it can be a common side effect, which is a strange sentence because either it is common or it isn't. It can be something. And again, when you accuse someone else of not fact-checking, I quote tweeted you again saying, hello, neither do you. I'd like to clarify a couple of criticisms about exactly what I'm talking about. I criticised her for using an article that debunks her own point. Essentially, she had a screenshot of an NHS page responding to a study published by The Telegraph, or referenced by The Telegraph. The Telegraph isn't an academic publication, but the Telegraph newspaper had a story about this study that had been conducted, and Peaches used a screenshot of the NHS page responding to it. However, the NHS research department concluded that this study was insignificant. Some of Peach's fans and followers have been like, oh, she can't read the next section where it says with X factors removed, it became significant. And I'm going to explain data and statistics to you from an analogy that my statistics lecturer told me as a student. Let's say you have 5 rotten apples and 2 ripe apples in a basket, and you take out the rotten apples. You still can't say that entire batch was like a good batch because 5 of them were rotten. When you remove insignificant data from a study, you will be left with significant data. That's how it works. I had a friend of Peach's come into my DMs and like send me a lot of screenshots and commented on my video, and I will apologise to them for being quite snappy. I replied snappily and rudely, and then I blocked them. And I'm one of those people that I don't really learn things over time. I have epiphanies. So a lot of people are like, oh, you've changed your tune quick. No, I have like occasional epiphanies where I'm like, oh, that was stupid. Why'd I do that? That was a dick move. So I unblocked them, and I said, I'm sorry for blocking you, and we had a short conversation, and I explained my problems exactly with Peach's wording medication that way. I then casually have a mental breakdown unrelated to this situation, and I deactivate my Twitter for like 12 hours. But I come back, and this friend had like tweeted out our conversation, and it very much confused me because she was like, oh, she ran away, not knowing anything else that had possibly happened. I did not run away from that. Something else happened, and said that I was admitting to be an asshole when I was being quite calm, actually. And then I did go back into the DMs a little bit mad because it appeared to me that we'd had a civil conversation, and she can make a video defending her friend Peaches because, quite honestly, yes, I was aggressive, I was rude, I was immature, and quite frankly, I was toxic to continue on at this in the way I did. Although I don't think it was harassment, it probably wasn't necessary at the time to do. It was just off. I wanted to make sure that if she was going to make a video, then at least have my perspective in it. But instead, she like turned around and just tweeted our conversation when I was being civil. You know, maybe not to begin with originally, but I thought I was being all right, to be fair. And then I was invalidating Peaches. I don't quite understand that criticism if I've never stated she can't talk about it or that she didn't experience it. And my only issue was the way that she portrayed the side effects of antidepressants. How exactly I was invalidating Peaches is confusing to me. But I bring this up because I do want to apologise because apparently it appeared as if I was spamming them on my third, a little bit vexed encounter. That's not exactly my intent. It's the way I type. I like type in fragments. I'll like type a few sentences and then type a few more. So I do apologise if it came across as if I was attempting to spam you, but that was not my intent. I apologise, however, as it obviously did distress you. Overall, I do acknowledge that my behaviour was petty at best and fairly toxic at worst, and that's why I've made this apology video. And I also wanted to clarify that I never said that Peaches couldn't talk about the negative side effects or that she did not experience them. Like, it's valid to feel those things and experience those things and talk about those things. You just have to be careful about the way you word it. And I do want to clarify something that this friend brought up, that some of my studies I used were outdated, and I'm going to explain why. When you have so many studies proving something, psychologists and scientists tend to not feel the need to research it further. Like, trying to prove that the sky is blue is not a concept for a current hypothesis because we know the sky is blue. So Of course, there's going to be data that's outdated in certain instances because it's, unlike many different other topics, over-researched. I can only imagine the pain of a young budding student having to go over the side effects of antidepressants after Kaiser, Muller, Stone, Jick et al. And many others have already done the same thing. I mean, what a boring research topic. I mean, when the National Health Service just puts in rare cases, I think we need to, trust them. I mean, they're underfunded and stuff, but they're not incompetent. So I guess TLDW, I apologise, Peaches, because I was toxic and immature and rude, and I was sort of making a mountain out of a molehill. Or was, not even sort of, because my original problem was that you posted this video to, I don't even know how many subscribers you had at the time, but it was a substantial amount of people, and I would have had a problem with it if you only had 1K subscribers. But after all of this, I'm fairly sure it's going to be cool, so I do apologise for that. I also apologise to her friend. I haven't named you because you are quite small and you were just trying to defend your friend, but I also would like to clarify that no, I didn't ever say that Peaches didn't experience these or couldn't talk about it. And also, I do understand how studies work. I have fallen asleep in many a statistics class and managed to catch up on the PowerPoint slides afterwards. Mental health is never an excuse. Mental illness is never an excuse. It's merely an explanation. And other things had been piling up at the time, which caused me to temporarily deactivate my Twitter, which is now private, and I am officially on an upload hiatus, except for this video, because I feel like it'd be wrong of me to ignore. Generally, I just wanted to apologise and clarify things, and if people still have a problem, then I guess, life. I'll talk to you guys in a video soon, and I hope I can be a more rational person in the future, because I have been known to be quite impulsive, and goddamn, I need to stop having epiphanies about what a dick person I can be. Speak soon.